All right, guys. So you guys won't believe what happened. If you follow my Instagram, you kind of already know. But since that last clip you guys just saw, it's been about a month. And pretty much what happened is I dropped off the car to my boy's shop to get detailed. They called me back a day or two later. I can't remember exactly now. I mean, it was such a trash couple like weeks, but they called me. They're like, hey, we might have an issue. And I said, what's up? And they said, pretty much somebody just hit your car. And in the moment I wasn't really mad. I was like, okay, all right, so what happened? They said pretty much somebody from a different shop nearby came out, thought they could clear my car, and they clipped it on my driver fender. They destroyed my headlight and buckled my hood slightly. So I wasn't really upset in the moment because they were like, yeah, we got the guy's information. You know, we're gonna take care of it, don't even worry about it. So I was like, all right, cool. You know, my boy sounded like, it was like, whatever. So I was like, all right, that's fine. So then after that, a couple days go by and I'm like, okay, so what's going on? I'm getting kind of nervous. And he's like, yeah, we're still working on it. The guy's still saying, hold on. Like I was saying, they were saying like, yeah, he said he'll pay, he said he'll pay. He just doesn't have all the money just yet, but he's gonna pay. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So a couple more days go by and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to one of them, see what happens. So I went and I was speaking to the guy from the shop that had the person's car that backed into me. And he's pretty much just like giving me the runaround. He's like, hey man, he'll pay, just leave it at that. And I'm like, what you mean leave it at that? Pretty much like, it's like, sounds like you don't care because it's not your car. And he's just brushing me off. So I'm like, all right, whatever. But my boy was telling me like, yeah, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it. So I'm like, all right. I left that day feeling like uneasy, but my boy said he got it, so I'm gonna go off his word. So then day goes by, and then on that next day I told him like, all right, I'm going right now, and if either somebody tells me straight up like they have the money, they give me the money, or I'm calling the police and I'm making a report. So I ended up going. That manager that day was being super rude to me. He was saying like, hey, maybe, you know, if you came down on the amount that you want, we could do it. But the amount that I wanted wasn't something I wanted. It was pretty much the body shop told me that's how much like just parts was gonna be. So when I let them know, they were upset because they said there's no way in hell they were gonna pay that much for a car that's a 2003, and they thought that the car was a piece of shit. That's why they didn't want to pay. And they were upset because this driver headlight alone was $1,600. So they were saying like, there's no way that headlight's $1,600. You guys are trying to scam us, whatever. So that manager, he was just pretty much on the side of the guy that hit me. So I said, you know what? Enough with this. I'm calling the cops. I called the cops. We did the report. Took a little while. They had to investigate. I think they're still investigating, honestly. I'm not sure. I don't care. Point is, insurance came out, did everything they had to do. And then, yeah, the body shop that I was in contact with is Fresh Auto Paint, I believe. I'll put their description and their address, everything in the description down below. If you guys want to hit them up for anything in the DMV area, I mean, took care of everything for me. He was able, his name is Anthony, he was able to get this fender repaired, not replaced. He repaired that fender for me. And as a solid, he ended up doing everything else for me. He re-cleared this headlight to match the brand new one. He ended up painting my whole hood for me, not just this area. Pretty much you were supposed to just fix that area and blend the paint into the rest of it, but he saw a bunch of chips on the front of the hood and a couple scratches and stuff. He said, you know what, man, I don't want to just do that. Painted the whole hood for me, and then ended up painting also this passenger side fender for me. And I mean, he did an amazing job. Took out every chip, everything for me. Came out really nice. So after that, I asked him, I said, hey, I don't know if it's somewhere in the budget for us to maybe redo my wheels. And he said, you know what, man, I got you. Don't even worry about it. I'll take care of everything. Got my wheels redone. And we were really nervous, all of us, because these wheels, if somebody who's watching this knows these cars, like, they know the wheels are very, very hard to match. I looked everywhere, forums, everything. Everybody knows that these cars and these wheels are really hard to paint match because it's like a shadow chrome color. So what we did was we ended up finding a bottle of touch-up paint, and on that we found a paint code, and we ended up using that paint code. And it doesn't have that like crazy depth like if you've seen like an original one. It's kind of hard to explain until you see one in person, but it looks amazing. It looks much better than it did. We ended up popping off these emblems that come on the wheel because they were kind of faded, and I got some brand new ones to throw on. But after all that was done, we also ended up throwing on that fender liner that I told you guys about. I ended up wanting to get rid of. We threw on the fender liner and then took it straight over to my boy Nemo. He took care of the whole paint correction, literally every single panel. Paint corrected everything. Bought for my tail lights for me. I don't know if I showed it before, but there was like a tree sap right here. You can still kind of see it burn the paint a little bit, but he was able to get that off for me. I mean, the car came out amazing. I'm so happy. They went above and beyond with everything. He cleaned my engine bay. I mean, he cleaned everything for me. So I definitely recommend anybody that is trying to get their car cleaned up or painted. I'll leave everything down below so you guys can check it out, but everything's done. Just ready to pretty much to throw on the bumpers right now. I'm gonna show you guys that right now. All right, guys, here she is, all finished up. Got the front bumper on and the rear bumper on. Just like when I first introduced it to you guys, it didn't have the rear bumper on. Now she finally does. But so I ended up throwing on the front spacer like I told you guys that I wanted to do, and I lowered the car just a bit. So I told you guys that I was running a 12 mil in the rear and a 5 in the front. I thought it was that way because my guy that ended up doing like my coilovers and stuff, I had gave him a set of 5 and 12, and I told him 12 in the front, 5 in the rear. So this whole time, I thought that he had put the 12 in the rear and 5 in the front because I knew that there was a 5 in the front. Turns out the rear had nothing this whole time. So that is literally just cambered out slightly with, just lowered all the way as low as it can. And then the front, like I told you guys, I ended up doing a 25 millimeter spacer. I'll put the part number or the link to everything down in the description, and it literally got it perfect. I still need to lower this side just a little bit to match this side over here, which is, in my opinion, perfect. That is absolutely perfect right there. It doesn't rub at all. I've already driven it. It doesn't rub, and it's sitting perfect now. The car, it's perfect. I don't know what else to say. But I ended up doing clear fogs like I told you guys. The headlights look like they're both brand new now. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, a couple more videos to come with this. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else on it. I do plan on probably taking these moldings off, getting them redone, because they're all kind of chipping away, as you guys can see. But yeah, I do want to also do a suede steering wheel for this thing, and probably upgrade to an F10 M5 shifter. It's a little bit lower and it's a lot more modern looking, I think. So that'll be coming up soon. But the way it sits right now, this thing is the best it's ever been. Those wheels are shining. But yeah, guys, so see you guys in the next one. Peace.
When I wake up, my tent drops, I'm frozen. my wrist shows it. When I wake up, my temp drops, I'm frozen, my wrist shows it. Ballin', breaking laws, drop a nigga for some raw. I ain't fucking with the bras, take another hit apart, yeah. Lost V8 star, Devin doesn't talk, yeah. Riding through the city with my baby, let me